night, as the rain fell heavier. The last thing he wanted was to be outside in the rain, with the flimsy broken-down tent collapsed all around him. Finally they got to the graveyard, and it looked spookier than Michael wanted. He gulped as the moonlight shone on the old crumbling headstones. He felt like he was in a Hammer horror movie as the wind and rain whipped all around him. Josh opened his rucksack and grabbed the bright blue tent as it fluttered in the wind like a sail. They grabbed a corner each, and then Michael struggled to hold it steady as Josh hammered the pegs into the soft, muddy ground. Luckily, they were in the corner of the... Now I have to turn a page, which seems to be quite difficult. Graveyard, and the weather was so atrocious that it was unlikely that they would be disturbed. Only the homeless would be out in this weather, thought Josh. It was like securing a blob of jelly. The tent kept moving as if it had a life of its own. Finally the pegs were hammered down and it became stable. They climbed inside on their hands and knees. Michael was surprised how warm and comfy it was inside, and his fear lessened a little as he emptied his bag of bottled water, chocolate and Walkman. He really hoped the batteries were working, as he needed some entertainment to get him through the scary long evenings. "How's it feel, mate?" said Josh, grinning widely. He really looked like he was enjoying himself. "Cool," said Michael. "Should be a piece of cake," he said hopefully. "I'll have to go now, mate. Good luck," as he shook his hand and unzipped the tent. This was a shock and a surprise to Michael as he watched Josh walking away, until he was a speck in the distance. He was disappointed as he thought it was going to keep him company for a few hours. He suddenly felt very alone and frightened. He zipped up the tent, and there was no sound on the constant drip, drip, drip of the rain on the roof and the whistle of the wind. Michael looked at the dark sky through the zip of the tent, and the gravestones shone in the moonlight as a reminder of his fate. Hair stood up on the back of his neck as the night came and swallowed all before it, until all he could see was the twinkling of the lights of the town far, far in the distance. He lay on his back and pondered his fate. A plan formed in his mind. He would imagine that he was at home in his bedroom and not out in this cold, spooky place. He pushed all of the thoughts to the contrary out of his mind. He only had about 8 hours to get through. How hard could it be, he thought. He would soon find out. Hello, viewers. He decided to drink the water in one go, as he didn't want to be going to the toilet all night. The chocolate he would eat in stages. He took a quick bite and his mood improved instantly. It was delicious, and he let it slowly melt in his mouth. The rain had stopped to a light drip every few seconds, and the wind was quiet. Michael lay back on his sleeping bag and popped another piece into his mouth. He was getting into a good mood. "This will be a walk in the park," he said to himself. Then he put the headphones on and pressed play. The ticking sounds of light clockwork filled his ears. It had been a while since he'd used his Walkman, and he was amazed how good it sounded. It was easy to forget that he was outside as the tent warmed up, and he lay comfortable on his back. He needed to stay up late so that he would fall asleep quicker and wake in the morning victorious. The ticking of the song came to an end, and the rushing of the tape filled his ears. Then another sound dominated, a loud, sharp snap of a twig cut him dead. Next bit coming up soon.